Have you ever had a secret so powerful it could change everything? A truth so sharp it could slice through the carefully woven fabric of lies that wrapped around a town like ivy? A secret that, if revealed, wouldn't just stir curiosity, it would destroy reputations, topple power, and force people to question everything they thought they knew. Join me as I dive into the secret that exposed everything and see if I can uncover the truth behind it all at the end. It begins not with a scream, but with silence. Millstone was the kind of town you drive through without a second glance. Just a dot on the map, familiar streets, weather-worn porches, and the kind of stillness that made you feel safe. The locals said you could leave your doors unlocked and your hearts open, but not everything that is quiet is safe, and not every story stays buried. For decades, Millstone wore a mask. Smiles, festivals, good schools, but beneath it pulsed a slow, dark current, a hidden rot no one dared speak of, until one woman stumbled across a truth so damning it threatened to shatter the illusion forever. Her name was Elena Ward, a librarian, a nobody, or so they thought. It started the way most catastrophes do, in a place no one paid attention to, the town archives. Elena had worked at Millstone Public Library for 12 years. She was quiet, meticulous, and known more for her cardigans than conversation. People called her Miss Ward, as if she were an old ghost drifting through the stacks. And perhaps she was, until that day. She was reorganizing the archives when she found it. A thin manila folder shoved behind a filing cabinet, labeled in sloppy handwriting, RP-B. Curious, she flipped it open. Inside were just 6 pages, ordinary looking. Names typed neatly in columns, dates, addresses, and one handwritten note at the top of the first page, reassignment protocol, priority group B. It meant nothing to her at first. Bureaucratic gibberish, probably a relic of some old zoning ordinance. But then she saw the names. Names she knew. Judith Myers, her former English teacher. Gone without a word in 2016. Isaiah Park, a single father who ran the grocery store. Found dead in his home, supposedly heart failure. Lucas Trent, a teenage activist, arrested during a town protest. Disappeared after serving a short sentence. Never came back. 38 names in total. All familiar. All gone. A chill threaded its way through Elena's spine. Something was wrong. Elena wasn't the kind of person to cause trouble, but she was the kind who couldn't look away from the truth. She brought the file home, locked her door, and opened her laptop. She started digging. For days, she pieced together fragments, old news clippings, obituaries, property deeds, social media posts, missing persons reports that had been removed from public records. Patterns began to emerge. Nearly every person on the list had publicly opposed the Cascade Development Initiative, a flashy redevelopment project promising to modernize Millstone with high-end apartments, art galleries, and shopping centers. It was sold as progress, but to many locals, it meant eviction. Bulldozed homes, generational land bought for pennies. Elena had seen it happen. Stores closing, neighbors leaving under pressure. She just never connected the dots. Until now. It wasn't random. It wasn't legal. It was planned. The people who resisted the initiative, they were systematically pushed out, or worse. Elena's stomach turned as she discovered that some of the names on the list had death certificates issued just days after declining offers to sell their homes. Others were relocated without a trace. Moved away, officials claimed, yet no forwarding addresses were ever found. And the most haunting part? No one had ever investigated. No one had asked questions. Why? Because the truth was buried, and someone powerful had made sure it stayed that way. Then came the night that changed everything. The library was closed. Rain slammed against the windows as Elena crept through the basement, heart pounding. She wasn't supposed to be there, but she had found a clue in an old employee ledger. Something about a secure holdings box, last signed out in 2011. It took her 2 hours to find it. A rusted metal box, locked and wrapped in brittle chains, hidden beneath a false floorboard behind a row of outdated town maps. Her hands trembled as she cracked it open, using a crowbar borrowed from maintenance. Inside was a stack of documents, older than anything she'd seen so far. Blueprints, letters, photos, audio transcripts, and a single envelope labeled Confidential Council Level 3. Elena had never heard of any such council. It wasn't part of Millstone's known government structure. She opened the envelope. Inside was a typed memo from the mayor at the time. Ronald Ames, beloved by many, now retired and living quietly out of state. Ensure all Priority B residents are transitioned per reassignment protocol guidelines. Resistance is expected. Suppress using code standard measures. Absolutely no digital trails. This operation is sanctioned at Council Level 3 authority. Failure to comply will result in internal disciplinary measures. Elena sat in stunned silence. This wasn't negligence. It was conspiracy. A shadow government embedded within Millstone. Officials, developers, even law enforcement. They called themselves Council Level 3, a secret board that made decisions behind closed doors, operating outside the law to secure profits and silence resistance. And the reassignment protocol? That was code for removal, for destruction. Elena knew what she had to do. She scanned every document, made copies, and uploaded everything to a secure cloud. Then she sent it all, anonymously, to a journalist she trusted, a former resident of Millstone who had once tried to investigate corruption and was driven out for it. Within 48 hours, the story broke. It was chaos. News vans swarmed Millstone. National media picked up the leak. Interviews, investigations. Whistleblowers came forward. Former assistants, interns, maintenance workers. One man claimed he'd been paid cash to escort elderly residents out of their homes and handle resistance. Names were named. Photos surfaced. And slowly the members of Council Level 3 were exposed. The mayor? In on it. The police chief? Complicit. 3 real estate investors? Indicted for fraud and unlawful intimidation. Class action lawsuits flooded in. The Department of Justice launched an inquiry. Victims' families returned, demanding answers. Some got justice, others never would. And Elena? She never asked for recognition. But when the truth came out, her name couldn't be kept secret for long. She received threats. She moved twice, but she never backed down. To this day, she lives in a quiet suburb far from Millstone. She doesn't give interviews. She doesn't talk to reporters. But once a year, on the anniversary of the leak, she lights a candle in her window. For the people who vanished, for the people who were silenced, and for the town that finally saw what had been hiding in plain sight. One lost file, one forgotten box. One woman who chose not to look away. That's all it took to expose the secret that had ruled Millstone for decades. A secret that festered in silence until someone, an ordinary librarian, brought it into the light. Because sometimes the most powerful secrets are the ones no one ever expected to be found. What would you do? Would you reveal the truth, even if it meant risking everything? Let us know in the comments. Your voice matters. And if this story gripped you, if it made you feel something, watch the next one. Because not every town is as quiet as it seems, and not every truth stays buried.